Of the world to you today.
Top of the world, if
The
you
world,
will.
yes. I love Q&As. I love answering any kind of questions that people have. So it's top of the world.
That's right. And we do. Like we're good at answering these
We
questions.
are.
We know them by now. So it's a good thing. And you know, the Q&A, it's always nice to do one of these every once in a while because I think there's lots of questions that come up. And is this the right career for you? What is it exactly that we do? What do the horses actually do in all of this? How do you make this a business? Is it a viable business? You know, it's funny. We were talking to a fellow yesterday who had a boatload of questions. He had
Tons and tons.
Boatload.
But you know, the one thing he did ask, can I make $100,000?
Yeah.
I say, well, you can make anything you want to being self-employed. However, I do want you to understand being self-employed means you got to physically and literally do the action. If you don't do the action, and that's being an entrepreneur, that's being self-employed, you're always taking action to move forward and grow your business. And it doesn't matter what year you're in. There's no year where you say, this is the year to relax.
Yeah.
No,
it's all just going to fall in my lap this year.
It just never rolls that way being self-employed. But man, is it worse being self-employed.
Absolutely.
Being your own boss.
Absolutely. And you know, with doing that work too, like even when those times that you get frustrated in your own business, which is lots, yeah, and you feel like things aren't moving the way that they're supposed to and all of that kind of thing, the best thing you can do for yourself is get up and get moving. Do something different. Move ahead. Do something to help you feel like this is still going. Because without the action, nothing happens, people. And that's across the board, not just in business. That's in all aspects of life.
And in all reality, we totally believe in energy. It doesn't matter how you roll with it. Science has proven energy continuously moves and energy can never die. But you can't just sit there and I make $100,000. It just doesn't roll that way.
You can't win the lotto without buying a ticket.
You know, the one thing I've always said though, you'll never be a millionaire being in a business like this. It's not like an Apple product. It's not like anything else. And the reason why is we work with horses. Horses, they cost you $1 million. So, you know, it's I mean, not to say if you wanted to be a millionaire, I'm not saying that you could not do it, but
I was just going to say,
it's just funny because horses are living beings. They're very, very expensive. So I don't know. I just think it's so beautiful if you can have a purposeful, fulfilled, destiny-filled life that you make a great living at, but you're happy.
Yes.
Every day.
And balanced.
And balanced, because we know money do not make you happy. How many people I've known when they've got the million and they've got their money, didn't make them any happier. So you can buy a fancier car or fancier purse does not mean that you are any happier,
any more fulfilled in life. I see we already have a couple people saying good morning. Good morning, Molly. Good morning, Jenny. Nice to see you both on here. And of course, anybody else who's watching, we love to know who's watching. So tell us who you are, where you're from, and questions today, people. Lots of questions.
Lots of questions.
That's the cue in the Q&A. So you give the questions, we give the answers. So to let you know who it is that's answering your questions, we're going to do this first today because why? Why not?
Why not?
I guess is the cool thing that I was going to say. So my name is Carolyn Charles. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmack, the founder and master instructor of the Equine Connection, and helping people globally around the world do what it is that we do. And that's living that purposeful life with horses, but in a completely different way, in a business that literally can, does, and will make you money. But we don't ride our teachers, and the horses literally are the actual teachers to our objectively driven exercises that come with this certification. And it really is brilliant when we can start to understand who these creatures really are. Because the one thing that we have seen over our life being in this industry is how many horses are used in the industry. And that I have to tell you, we cried a few times because you can't use this beautiful sentient being. It's just not who they are. We have to understand their culture and we have to understand their language. So it's not them who have to change for us, because they're naturally who they are, which is the goodness of all things that God created on earth, because they're truthful, they're honest, and they have no judgment. Now, if only humans could be like that. That's why they're so precious. And the one thing we're most proud of is this certification is always the foundation, with the welfare of the horse first. And then we learn all of the other things, because if we're not putting all of our time, energy, and understanding into who it is that they are, because they're trying to tell us stuff
all the time.
We're just saying, nope, you got to do it this. Nope, go away. Nope. So it really does open your whole being, heart, and soul to a different world with these horses.
Yeah. And appreciating that piece of them is huge, right? Like you're saying, the use versus working with or partnering with. Why wouldn't we want to ever partner with all living beings in a different way, right? Rather than, we don't want to be used.
Exactly.
So as we go through it, I see we got a few more people. We got Libby and Renee's on, and Rach is on. Good morning to everybody as well. As we go through this today, or as we're answering, that was Spike. He's a large dog. If you're wondering what that giant
mini horse.
Really. Yeah, what that giant puffball was that just walked behind us, that's Spiky. So if you hear something today that you're like, I hadn't thought of it that way before, or wow, that is mind-blowing, throw in that hashtag, boop,
holy jumping tuna fish, or the emojicon.
Yep, we like the little tuna fishies as well, but make sure you throw that in, because we like to know what people are liking to hear.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, share this out, because why, Carrie? Sharing as well.
It's caring. It's caring, Carolyn.
That's right. Sharing is caring, everybody. And if you know somebody in your life that maybe has horses or has always wanted to work with horses, they just don't know what to do, or they don't want to do the riding lessons or the tack side of things, share this out, because sometimes people don't even know
that it exists.
Yeah. When it first came into your life, you're like,
oh my Lord, dreamt all my life since a wee baby of being with horses. And I didn't want to do all the other stuff that Carolyn just mentioned. And what? Equine assisted learning, I had no comprehension of what that meant. And I know for Carolyn, she just like, okay,
nice.
Very nice. And you think that this is going to be a business. So it's actually really cool how it's all coming to play.
You had to see to believe. See the skeptic that lives within this girl right here.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
The next piece to always remember is that lovely hashtag of we are life changers. That's not just us. That's every single one of you guys too. That's our horses. That's our puppies, our kitties. Everybody in this planet has the ability to change somebody's life for the better every single day that we live and breathe. And that's something to consistently remember, is how are you affecting other people's lives? How are you affecting your own life half the time, right? We have that capability to be positive life changers in this world. And we always have to keep that in the forefront of our mind as well.
Exactamundos.
Oh, we got Teresa on too. Somebody else said morning, ladies, but it doesn't tell us who you are.
No.
So Facebook
good morning,
user, good
Facebook
morning.
User.
Yeah. We are happy you're here.
Well, this is kind of cool, because we have mainly our facilitators on, and the coolest piece that I do have to tell you about, because we're just setting up right now. It's a new exercise that we have created, and it's called Around the World. And the objective to this is knowledge. But the best part with this is you don't have to travel. You don't need a passport. Why? You come to the facilities that offer around the world, and you get to go on a trip with your family, or just on yourself. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's so cool, because we get to visit the African Congo, which is my absolute favorite. Germany with the Autobahn. Spain with, of course, running with the bulls.
That's right.
And then, of course, Brazil.
And then Brazil. Yeah.
Brazil is there. The Nile.
Yeah. So it's a pretty interesting course. I'm actually really excited about this one.
And of course, when our facilitators, because this is just for our certified facilitators globally around the world, because we know conferences, which really are personal development, these are the things, being an entrepreneur, being self-employed, that we must always want to be a part of, because the more we can personally develop ourselves, it helps us have that greater business that we are continually moving forward and developing. So it's really exciting. They always get a free exercise from all the other exercises that they receive with their certification. And of course, we, in this conference, we have amazing speakers. I'm so excited. I don't know if any of you have heard of Dr. Stephen Peters, but he just turned my world upside down. Because why? He's a neurological doctor for the horse.
Yeah.
Horse brain. So you see, we're always about science, science, energy, energy, science, science all the way. And the research piece, now we're bringing it all together. So we clearly understand when we're facilitating the horse's world, not the human world.
Yes.
Like, for example, lots of times we'll see a horse that's yawning, which is beautiful. We like the yawn. And of course, I know many people refer to it as a horse releasing, but scientifically, just so you know what they're doing, when a horse is yawning, they've actually gone to their opioid system,
which is a release,
which is that
this is the
beautiful, make you feel good release. And then they can now release. So it's like when our clients come in, because of course, most of our clients who take our courses, not our certification, they're non-horse people. So we've got a lot of fears and anxieties because we work with addiction centers. So you can imagine all that stuff that's coming to the horse. That's a lot of stress that happens to be on these sentient beings. So it makes logical sense that they're going to have a point where that stress needs to be released in some way. So heading to their opioid system will do that for them.
That's I'm really excited about that one this year.
Right?
Well, there's lots.
He's so cool.
Really
and Chris Irwin.
Chris Irwin is huge. Yeah, Elise Mickey, she's doing part of the hands-on piece. Leah Dick, we've got Doug Walsh.
Love Leah.
Oh my gosh.
Doug. They're all amazing. And you know, we couldn't have done it if we didn't offer. We've offered actually our conference in 2 different ways this year.
Yeah.
One is a virtual. So it's a virtual Zoom in the moment because we can have speakers all over the world that way. And then, of course, we've got our in-person. They get to come for 2 days and work with these specialists with horses, Elise Mickey, because that's getting to the organs and the body and the everything of horses and helping them always to be at a better place health-wise. She has horses that are close to 40 years old.
Yeah.
Every time we have to put down a horse, she's like, wow, that's so young at 27.
Yeah.
She goes, my horses, because she's always working with them. I don't know. So we're pretty excited and pumped for Elise. And that's the hands-on piece as well. So it's very, very exciting. Teresa, I did want to tell you something from yesterday, because Teresa and I are also in another course, which is horse culture and language with her beautiful Leah Dick. And her course is called Equus Empowered. This will turn your whole world around with your horses. That I promise. It's science-based. There's a veterinarian that works in this course with her as well. And this is how they've created and developed it. But it definitely does have to do with the chakras and the meridians that are located in horses' bodies. But I had that same thing happen, Teresa, with Faye. So Faye is a horse that I've had in my life since 2011. Everything been, I mean, it hasn't gone good since the beginning because there's a long story that goes behind it. But all of a sudden, like, we're going along in life beautifully. Well, this year, all of a sudden, ever since her heart chakra, which is, well, where her heart is located, so around that whole thing, it's a fascia band.
Yes.
Is what we're referring to. So in this fascia band, every time I went to go in that area, Faye would come around and try to nip. Now, she always just gave the warning, like, don't go there. No touching.
Yeah, that's not where we live, right?
That's not where we live. And I'm like, okay, like, I understand. So, of course, I'm listening to what the horse is saying, but my brain can't understand why out of the blue did she change that we can't touch this fascia band, this chakra band area, which is heart. And it wasn't until Chris Irwin, because I've been working with him in his course as well. Because see, personal development is what you always want to do when you are an entrepreneur and self-employed. Yeah. You got to pay and invest in yourself to make your world better, because it is so satisfying. I think the best money you can ever spend is on yourself, because when we're learning more things, it actually gives us more confidence, more security, and makes us feel safer in all that we are doing. But it was through Chris to tell me, because I videotaped what was happening with Faye, I was using the wrong body language. So you see how many years after, because we're on our 15th year, it's amazing how as we grow and change and learn, because now they're opening themselves up to more of what we as trained facilitators need to understand in their language. So
they level us up. Like, that's something I say to our participants all the time. Okay, so because they have to be like, well, last week was so great with them, and then she made me work so hard this week. You're leveling up. Like you got to this point, okay, so now they know there's more. So they're going to bring you to the next level, right? And they do that with us all the bloody time too.
They do.
Yeah, sometimes it's frustrating.
So anyway, what happened was Chris Irwin and myself, I had him on my laptop and he showed me what I was doing wrong with my body. And I knew it had to do with me. Like, here's the one thing I do always know. When there's something going wrong with your horse, I know it's not the horse. I always, always, always know it's me or one of our clients. No, I'm not saying
Not
for the health.
injuries or
I'm not saying for health. I'm just talking for that northeast. Yeah, because health is very important. So through that, I understood how to use my body different that matches how horses actually touch each other in the herd. So Teresa, that I thought was pretty interesting, and he's going to be at conference too. And I think Teresa is coming to conference as well.
Yeah.
So you will learn that.
Conference is cool. It's a good thing. I see we have a couple other comments here. Oh, Mr. Garcia is on. Good morning. Any other fellas out there? He is our token male.
He truly is.
Yeah. So please feel free to give him a friend. Yeah. Because Mike's always in. Good morning.
I love Mikey.
And then the Facebook user, holy jumping two fish. We got one today. Very
Yay.
good. 40 years old. Isn't that impressive? It's so impressive to get those like older horses like that. She thought 27 was young. Yeah.
Phenomenal. So questions and answers and anything that you got going. Do you have a question, anybody? Give it to us.
Yep.
We are trained facilitators. Go to town, because why? We always know if we stop learning, we're dead. Like it's just that simple. So there's always questions that you need answers to. And we are your specialists. So,
and I think that's even while we're waiting for questions to come in, I think it's so important to realize that we are always, like, that's something we say repeatedly, but the most humbling thing is realizing that we know nothing.
That's exactly right.
And we know a lot about horses, but it's still nothing on the grand scale of things, right? So that piece where you can just be like, oh, you know, like I know nothing. Because then that gives you the ability to be trainable, to learn more, to be open to more things. The people who come in and I know everything there is to know about horses, you're untrainable.
Yeah, you really are. I've talked to a couple of those
over
the years. You know what? But I always smile because I never tried to correct anybody in that, because I know when they take the certification course, their brain's going to be blown away. No matter what kind of cowboy or what kind of human has come in, they're always like, whoa.
Yeah. And they see it.
Yes.
That's the thing. Sometimes they, you know, they have that little skeptical piece and then they see it happen and they're like, oh, right. Lamari is young at 34. Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. She's an older girl too, but she's doing good too.
Yeah. Gee willikers.
Yeah. That's amazing to me.
Yeah. We got to learn our stuff, man.
So not a question, but for those who are thinking about taking the course, know that the business pack and support from the entire team is unbelievable. True that, sister.
Thank you, Jenny. It is. Oh, I just love our business pack. I love how we help people not just understand horses and the exercises and the programs that come with it and understand how to work with people while allowing a horse to be a teacher. But I do have to tell you, I think that's where a lot of certifications, you know, they do the people dirty. Why? They don't know what to do after they take the course, where this way, like Jenny says, you are set to run right out of the gate. Yeah. Like it is such a fabulous business pack and it blows everybody away. And I do have to tell you, most people say it's actually worth $20,000.
It's and it is. Yeah, because it's many, many years of blood, sweat, and tears. I will tell you that right now. But I love that she said the entire team, because we have a family. We really do. All of our certified facilitators around the globe, everybody helps everybody. There's no, you're doing this all by yourself. So even if you're thinking, oh my goodness, like I'm not going to have anybody else to help me with this. Yes, you do. Yeah. You got like 400 and some other people out there who are ready and willing to help you, who are like-minded individuals, who are wanting everybody to be successful. Like everybody wants the best for everybody. You don't find too many groups like that anymore.
No. Exactamundos.
Jenny says, yes, there's a constant opportunity for personal growth, for understanding your horses and being a better facilitator. That's true. You never stop growing in this either, because you're not an expert after you're done the course.
No,
just so you know. So if people are out there thinking, oh, and then I'm going to have to know everything after the certification. No, you can't.
No, it's impossible.
We all know nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But it gives you the start of knowing nothing to develop more, to know more.
Exactly. And maybe that's what we can talk about until we get a couple of questions in too, is what does the actual like logistics look like of the course? Because we have a few options, well, and one really special option right now on how you can take the course. So there's 3 different ways that we currently have that you can actually take the course. The first one is the virtual. So virtual is you spend 5 days with us on a Zoom. And face to face as best we can. We can't touch because that's not invented yet.
Try.
Yeah. Yeah. The camera's up there.
Oh, that's why it's not working. Okay.
So we can't do the touching piece, but it's very interactive and still keeps you going. So in those 5 days, you're kind of rolling through. You can ask questions in person, move forward, and all of that is good stuff in there as well. So that's the first option. And then with that, you take a 3-day hands-on in the one that's closest to you. So that's the first option for taking the course. The second one is doing online at your own pace. So that means it's literally online at your own pace. That's about as succinct of a title as we could come up with.
We wanted to make it very clear.
Yeah.
I mean, it is about 4 months long.
Yep.
But you can go as quick or as long as you do. We have had some people complete it in 3 weeks, which means that they're drinking coffee like
they're doing like 4 or 5 hours a day. Like, they're in because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because everything that we put into the virtual goes into there as well. Plus there's the questions and answers and everything to go through too. So that's the second option, is that you can go through at your own pace. So if you don't have 5 days in a row that you can book off, cool. Online at your own pace allows you to do it when you can, which is lovely as well. And then again, you would do the 3-day hands-on piece after at the closest location to you as well. Now, the third option we have right now is kind of cool because it's old school, but new school. So before the whole ugly word of COVID thing happened, we did all of this in 5 days. We don't know how.
No,
but we did all of this in
poor people in 5 days. Your brain,
their brain.
You must have had to go to the mental institution to recover because wow, did we throw everything in 5 days?
Yeah. Oh, and like you must have all just been.
Did you even like us?
Yeah, right. And by the end, we're like,
Mike would ask, Mike,
go away. Yeah. Oh, what did he? Chris Irwin's YouTube video on push.
Yes. And
so
Teresa,
good.
that's exactly right. That's what it's all about, is what Chris Irwin does in this. This is what's helped me with face. So it's in our workplace. If you go into All About the Horses, search for Chris Irwin.
Yeah, because it's very, very good too.
So
yes, this one that we're kind of going old school but new school is we're going to do another in-person one here at our location this month. I don't remember the date.
August 29th to September the 2nd.
Who's good?
I am.
So that's when we're going to be doing this. This is the only one this year, but it's hands-on everything at our location. It is 5 days, but there's a pre-work course and then a post-work course that go with it that are online.
That you do at the comfort of your own home.
That's right. And the pre-work one has to be done and completed before you come to us with the 5 days, but that's going to give you the general overall theory before you come in so we can start getting straight into equine assisted learning. And then during those 5 days hands-on, we'll be together.
Touch.
We can touch. I mean, if you don't want to be touched, that's
no,
okay.
Yeah, we respect. Yeah. we respect your boundary.
Yeah. So with that piece, then you get to do it all right here with us. So then it's just the 5 days plus the pre-work plus the post-work. And then you are completely done with the whole kit and caboodle. And that's at our location just outside Calgary, Alberta.
CC, and we do have one in New Zealand.
Yes.
As well. That one's a 6-day in-person one. So for any of you who are watching from Australia or New Zealand, that might be cool.
Yes. Jenny, I loved the 5 plus 3 day format. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. The 3 days are so awesome too, because it's just working with horses.
And the programs.
That's
the exercises.
Yeah, it's just stunning. And Facebook user says,
so one of our girls.
Yeah, I love the 5 day virtual. I learned it's Jen. Okay.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen. So yeah, every option we've gotten fantastic feedback on, but we're really kind of excited about doing this
touchy-feely 5-day in-person one.
But again, we will respect your boundaries. But getting back to people again, I think it's nice to feel like we're getting back to people.
It is.
Yeah.
So lovely.
For those of you who have been craving that too, or those even in our area, that's a nice way to be able to do it, because then you're kind of done in one shot, right? You don't have to wait for a 3-day. You can implement the learning right away. Will it be a lot? Yes.
Yeah.
But so is the 5-day and 3-day. Like it's a ton of information. Absolutely. But it's a really great option that we have coming up here too. And the only one this year. So if you are all the hands-on in-person person, that's the one that you need to be hopping in on.
It will just be like conference. Your brain is going to be a mess after 2 days.
But
a
a
mess,
beautiful
but
mess.
a beautiful, beautiful mess.
Yes, that's right. Which is how most of us live our lives half the time.
Yeah,
anyway.
I like
A
that,
beautiful
that way.
mess.
Instead of the ugly mess, the beautiful mess
Yes,
is much nicer.
That's right. What is that? Something chaos. There's a constructive chaos. Is that the phrase?
I don't
I
know
love,
that one.
I love the way you look at me sometimes.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
It's improper.
Well, and I mix up things all the time. It's like I'm dyslexic in sayings and the way things are worded. And it's just truth. Like I have told my family, if at one point I start getting everything correct in how I say things, no, I'll be gone soon.
Yes.
Something has flipped in my brain to make it that way.
That means her body's shutting down.
That's
because
exactly
her brain's
right.
gearing up. The energy's going to the wrong space.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the logistic pieces of how you can actually take the certification. Now, what is it that you do as a facilitator? I think that's a big question that people
ask all the time.
Yeah, because it's kind of a hard thing to comprehend. Okay, so we got horses as teachers. I'm facilitating, but what does that actually mean? So logistics wise of the course, what happens is you'll have a group of people come to you. In that time that you're with them, you're going to do an objectively driven program with your horses. So in order to do this, you do have to be able to give them a rundown of what's going on, but you're sticking to an objective. So we're not doing a therapy piece because we're not therapists. So we're not touching the human psyche in that way. We're helping people.
You know, it's therapeutic.
It's therapeutic, yes, but we are not doing therapy. So I can get on the soapbox about that piece all day, but I won't today. So with this piece too, you have an objectively driven program. That means you're going to help those people to develop a skill. So as they actually go through the obstacles that are out in the arena, your job is to watch the horse because the horse is the teacher. So you're going to be able to you don't have to listen in on everything that the people say, but your job is to watch for the horse because they're going to be the one that gives you the cue where you can actually step in as a facilitator to help them to make the changes that they need to do to be able to continue on in a better way working with their horse. So it is what is the word I'm going to say? Individual change within a group atmosphere. So everybody's going to take something a little bit different from it that applies to their life. But at the same token, they're all still working within a group because we still have to be able to work with other people. And that's something that's been sorely lacking, I think, in the last couple of years as well. Because you don't even know if your workmates are wearing pants half the time when you're on Zoom.
That is very true.
It's very true.
I love the programs, the exercises that come with our certification because Tamara McKinnon, who actually developed all of them, what she did was she took the research on how do humans actually learn. This research is still used in colleges and universities today. So that's, to me, just fantastic. And then how do wild horses actually talk? What's their language? How do they work? And then she married the two to come up with these predictable outcomes, these programs and exercises that give your clients results each and every time. I think the two hardest things for facilitators in training is going from teaching to facilitating. That wrecks your brain because you no longer teach, because if you're teaching in equine assisted learning, you're actually enabling a human. Who wants to enable a human? We want to empower them, and that's why we facilitate. And then literally the second hardest thing is really letting your horse actually teach. So
and not putting words in their mouth, being genuine to what they are doing and letting the people reflect on that, not you saying something that you don't know is true.
No, exactamente. That just doesn't roll.
No.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen any questions.
No.
I sad because I really wanted some questions. You know, questions, I like it even if you can stump us, because then that makes us have to go and investigate and find. And I love that. I love that.
Even our facilitators who are on too, if you guys had a question before you took the certification that was kind of answered during it, but you didn't realize how it was going to be answered, throw that in too. So then we can help some of these people who are not facilitators yet to understand a little bit more about all of this too, because it's pretty important. It's funny because we've got Jen on, and Teresa said, if only I can make it to the one day in person. Is that possible? If I can only make it to the one day in person, is that possible?
Well, isn't that just an interesting question, Teresa? So I like that because now she stumped my brain. But you know, with us, there's definitely always a possibility. We could definitely chat about it. You just have to figure out if you want to come for Elisa's, which is on Monday, or Leah Dick's and Around the World on the Tuesday.
We're talking about conference.
Yeah,
I was like, for the
conference. Yeah, I knew where you were going there, little sister.
I didn't. I'm glad you went on that one. Yeah, I was confused. See, clarification.
There's, this is what I always love too, is people asking the question because you don't know. Like everything's a no, right? So it's like, why not just ask? Step out of that comfort zone, because I know sometimes people say, you know what, I don't have the 50% down, but I have this. Would you actually look at doing blah, 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 blah? And we're like, hey, you had the guts to ask us. We want to try to work with you. Not try, because there's no such thing as try, as Yoda says.
No try, there's only do.
That's right.
I haven't no do or not. There is no try.
That's but I just know the saying
because I said I am Yoda at this point. No, it's true though. But ask the question. See what we can do to help you out. And Jen, too. One day I want to make it up to see y'all at the mothership.
Yes, Jen. That fun that we will have, because you are our kinds of people here. We're gonna have fun together. So you get that beautiful little butt ski here when and if you ever can, or maybe we just meet at a border.
Yeah. That'll do. We'll just all meet at the border, shaky hands.
Well, it's so funny because I went to Coots in the Milk River area.
Yeah.
And in Coots,
you can do that.
It was so, it blew my brain. So we have the United States on this side of this little like rope fence. Okay. I want you to understand there's no metal, there's no nothing, a little rope fence. So here's the USA people, here's us Canadian people, and we're all at the line of the rope, and we're passing each other drinks and hamburgers and hot dogs, and we're talking and greeting each other. So Jen, we could do that.
Rita's in too.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, Jen, border reunion. We're doing this, people. Reunion.
Just bring a lawn chair.
That's right.
And then a little hibachi. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
Hibachi? Hibachi?
You keep saying the word. We'll see if I get it.
A barbecue. Like I don't understand.
No, I don't know if I've heard that word before.
Okay.
But it could be called that.
Yep.
It doesn't sound wrong. A border reunion. That's crazy. Mike said too, I learned so much being at the hands-on course here in New Mexico, helping and being a facilitator and not a teacher. Mm-hmm. It is so much in a short time, but stepping back and not overthinking all of it helps. That was a really cool thing that we all had to kind of come to at that one too. It's a conversation.
That's it.
You're not with your people with questions, and you're not looking for everything to come out of your mouth to be some sort of
wow.
Yeah, you're not going to change a life with every sentence that comes out of your face, but being able to like kind of just be in the moment with it and not stress so much. Like it's so great being a facilitator, you guys.
It really is.
You don't even know. Authentic Wellness Ranch. That's our Natalie, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Before my certification, I had no idea how important the hands-on would be. Yes, it brought it all together. That's so true. Being able to do that piece that dots all the I's and crosses all the T's, it's essential. It really is, to be able to figure out. And I mean, even for those of you that don't travel, we still have an ability to do it, but it's still, you got to work with the horses to see these pieces. Yeah. You really, 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 really have to. Mm-hmm. Really. Rach, what about being on the other side of being quiet and letting the horses teach and not putting this stuff into people's horses' minds? How do you follow up with them, or do you at all until the next session time? So when we're saying not putting things like into the horse's mouth, if a horse is reacting a certain way, I'm not going to say, well, that horse feels this way about you right now. Yeah. Because I don't know that. And I don't know where the person's at to be able to actually make that statement. Because a perfect example is we thought we had one course that was super great, and that this chick got so much, nice lady, got so much from it. And then in the debrief, we were like, so what does that mean for your life? And she says, I got to clean my room. And we're like, that's not what we were hoping for. However, for her, cleaning her room was moving into a completely different life. So she actually brought it back in the next course too, because she's like, I did it. I cleaned my room. And if I can clean my room, I can change my entire life.
So cool how these things work. I remember we had one of our facilitators who is certified in another Equine Assisted Learning Certification. She'd come because she didn't know what to do for the after part. So she's like, I'm going to take your course. So this is what happened to her too. This is when we have no rights as a human to put words into horses when they don't think, act, or respond like a human. And this is where we as trained facilitators have to get away from putting our human onto horse, because it doesn't exist. So that's science, that's reality, and that's just the way it is. So this lady was working with one of the horses at another certification. And she said, you know, I was feeling really good. I was working with this horse off lead line. It just felt really good. And when I felt I kind of closed the chapter of what it was I was thinking about working with, she said, then my horse walked away. And she said, that feels good because it feels like I've really actually just kind of closed it. Well, the facilitator came over and said to her, hey, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to know what that horse is saying? No. If someone came to me and asked that, I'd say, hell yes, give it to me in your human perception here, what this horse is just saying. She said to the lady, well, what this horse is trying to tell you is you have too much baggage in your life. I'm like, imagine. How dare you? Because first of all, the number one thing a horse needs to feel is safe. The number one thing a horse needs to feel is safe. So at even that point, if we're understanding that piece, a horse moving away, walking away, yes, it definitely can be. Maybe he's not feeling safe at that moment,
could
but
be 1,000 things.
It could be he's completed his job and moved away because the human has said they've completed. But how dare we put our telepathic ideas into a horse? We have to allow that human to figure out why. Because here was the thing. I could have even, being a facilitator, I could have said to that person, so why do you think that your horse just walked away?
What do you mean? What did that mean to you?
And she is going to say, you know what? I felt so good because we were working. She stayed with me, blah, 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 blah. And then when I closed the book, closed the chapter, she said, okay, we're done.
Yeah. Instead, this lady came and pooped all over the moment.
Pooped. Said she had too much baggage.
Poop, poop. Yeah. And the thing is with that too, is with a horse walking away, it could mean so many things. You have no idea. It's the same as why a horse wouldn't necessarily lift a foot. What would be the reason? Well, it all falls down to they're not feeling safe in that moment. Okay. So then the person knows why that horse wouldn't feel safe. We would never know what's going. We're not telepathic.
No.
So we can't put those things onto horses. Just like saying, well, you're feeling sad, so it's making the horse sad. Well, no, that's not really how all that rolls either. And that actually goes really well with what Jen says here too. The hands-on piece really pulls all the pieces together. What helped me the most was she had run some programs beforehand, which helped her improve on the facilitation piece, plus being able to be a client and understand a little bit about what my clients are, being in my client's shoes. And it was eye-opening. It's so true. You have to know how it feels to be facilitated, because it is, like one of the ladies said too, is, you know, you hear all these moments and you think it's going to be so cool. And then it happens to you. And you're like, whoa, like it's all true. And it really, truly is. We have to be able to be open to learning just as much from our horses as we expect our clients to be open.
Exactamundos.
Yeah, well, that was a good little tirade we went on.
It was. No. It was a fun Q&A.
That was. This is good stuff. And apparently we're all meeting at the border at some point.
I love that. Well, and I mean, I haven't been to all the borders before, so I don't know. But we in at Coots was because there's no fence. Like, it's just this little rope.
Yeah, but you don't step over the rope.
No. You're not allowed to do that.
But you can touch over.
We can still, hey, how you doing? Pass each other stuff, and we can sit there and just talk.
Yeah,
in a lawn chair. So I think that's the only place I know of, because I've never just been at a border crossing.
We haven't driven the entire border.
No, never done that before. So that was kind of cool.
That's interesting,
isn't it?
Yeah, look at the plans that we make.
I know.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right. Well, not a whole bunch of questions about the course today, but we appreciate all of you guys being on too. Lenore, my horse was so glad to see me after she was evacuated due to fires. Yes, I heard about that. And just wanted to walk with me and hang near me, and tried to get to the gate three times calmly, but it made me feel very special by her. It's because of safety, right?
Horses, they just give us so much. You know, I've been listening to this fellow, Tim Hayes, and it's really cool because I'm really trying to get into podcasts as I drive, and I drive maybe once a week. So it's going to take me a year to finish the book. But, you know, I've really been enjoying him as well. And, you know, he brought up like horses really live in two categories. I mean, first they sort things in two categories. One is what will kill me, and the other one is things that don't kill me. So that's their first thing. And then the second component is they live in fear and they live in love. So I just think that beautiful, that's what Lenore just said too, that like, that's love. Like, it's so precious, that energy that goes back and forth between horse and human. I mean, horses in their being, in their makeup, they're actually not a mean, aggressive animal whatsoever. They feel safest in a herd, and they know everybody in the herd needs to do something so that they all are working together to move forward. That's why these programs are so amazing, because it's all about always working together, because we are a team around the world.
And if only we could all interact as a herd in this lovely globe that we're in. This is a good question too. Before her certification, she did wonder, what's the investment look like after, time-wise and money-wise? So this is, again, dependent on how fast you want to move. So when Carrie was first certified, she was like, okay, I'm going to buy everything right
and
now.
I did.
And I'm not going to start up for a year, but I'm going to have everything under the sun. So I'm ready to start up when it's time. And then they called right away and you had to start up. So it was good she did that. It worked out really, really well. However, there's other people who are like, okay, I'm going to get just my flip charts to start out. And then I'm going to start moving into things. I'm just going to have use PVC pipe instead of actual rails because they're a little bit less expensive. So there's lots of different ways to set it up, how much you want to spend and how fast you want to go with it.
Absolutely. And the props with the exercises, because you want to make it look like they're coming to something. That's why the exercises are so much fun. Those are, to me, it's the cheapest part of being in business, because you can look on Facebook or Kijiji. You can find all kinds of great things. Garage sales. That's a one-time thing. And, you know, we have lots of people who become certified because that's going to be their retirement career after, or, you know, they've got a part-time job and they want to do this part-time. Like, it's very rare when we have a person come in who's like doing nothing. I know they would just want to do this. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people have, but it mainly is people are looking to what it looks like for their life in the future. They want this purposeful thing that they can still do with humans and still work with their horses and make a living with their horses. Because right now, if you aren't having a business with horses, all that money you spend on them every month just goes out the window. There's nothing that you ever get back for it. When you're in business, though, all that money you're spending right now you make it into a business. So now you're getting and creating those losses, which is great with the government. So when you do have income coming in, working for a part-time job, working a full-time job, these are good balancers to your write-offs each and every year, which means if you do pay into the government, you get money back when you're self-employed on top of it. So that is a win-win.
We did have one lady who she was wanting to get going and she didn't have a whole lot of money to be able to put down to go get I think it was the rails that was the biggest expense for her at that moment. And I don't think she could get them at the time. It was during that whole time when like wood went insane. And so she had to clear some trees from her area. So she had her hubby cut off all the big branches. And that's what she used. And she tied little ribbons on them or wrapped ribbons so it had some color and that kind of thing. And she ran a women's workshop with it. And from the women's workshop, she made the money that she could go get them. So there's always a way to move forward. And that's one thing we'd like to help our facilitators with too, is because where there's a will, there is a way.
Yeah.
The will.
And I think sometimes people get into business and they think they have to build an arena and they've got to build this area for their clients. No, you don't. No, remember, your clients will always be non-horse people. Most of them will be non-horse people to come out to your property with an outhouse and some branches on the ground, and you have the horses. That's all they want.
It's rustic.
It's to them away from a city that they never thought they could be a part of. Just entering your place is just like a breath of fresh air to them. That's all it is.
Just keep the porta potty clean.
Yeah.
No yucky caca poo poo porta potty.
I think Natalie is like me. Yes. When I saw all the stuff you created, I'm like, oh, she's a me.
Let's go, baby.
But I like doing that.
I also wondered if you could partner up. if you had too many clients at once with another facilitator.
Yes.
Absolutely. We have, well, in our facilitator family, anytime people are close to each other or even a few hours away, they have still found a way to, like, if you get somebody in that says they want to bring in 12 clients and you need another facilitator, again, there's a will, there's a way. There is somebody that's going to be able to come help you out, more than likely to be able to go and help you out. So you're close to somebody else, maybe.
Exactamente.
Yes. And people think that's a competition. Oh, there's somebody within a few hours of me. Man, freaking tastic. That's not competition. That's relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your backup. Well, those are good questions too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Natalie. I appreciate those.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, you guys all have the most stupendous day ever. Remember to know and understand you're unique and you are a gift to this world. That is why you are a life changer. We are all life changers, but it's so much better when we're a tribe, a family that sticks together. Like on Facebook, we consider you all to be a part of us. No matter if you're certified or you're not, it doesn't matter. We just help each other to move forward because that's what we're supposed to do on earth. But there is purpose to everything that we do. So go live in your purpose. Don't think about the past and don't worry about the future because we have no control on anything that's going to happen. Live your now. So really, in all essence, be a horse.
Yeah, as best you can.
A horse lives in moments, and that's why they're happy.
Yeah, it's true. And for any of you who are watching this on replay and you have other questions, because maybe you couldn't catch the live, post them in the comments. We will be coming back to check on them, and we are more than happy to answer them for you as well. Or connect with us through our website, equineconnection.ca. And I'm more than happy to even pick up the old phone and have an actual conversation.
Seriously.
If you can believe it.
Although you got a busy signal yesterday.
It was like I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, what is this sound? I haven't heard
I have not got
50 years. This is the busy signal. I was shocked.
And Teresa, that is so wonderful. Let us know how it goes. But it does take practice to put that body properly. It's really bizarre. Well, and for any of you who are not able to see this video, although I'm sure you could look it up, if this Carolyn is my horse, the one thing with their head and their neck, that is all their that's their spatial boundary, but we interfere. We go in and we don't ask respectfully lots of times. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Sure.
Oh, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this properly.
Oh, there we go. We're doing a demo. Okay. There's your horse. So here she is. So how my body would position is, see this hand right here. You see that? This is like I'm invading their space. See how there's no energy that can move to it? So how Chris is always telling us to understand is we're going into the horse, but we're doing it where we're kind of resting our hip on, let's say, the left leg here. So this hand would go onto the heart or underneath the girth area of your horse to open it up. So you're kind of drawing. So you see the horse now has all of this energy versus coming in and doing it with this hand. You're opening up that space because that's what a horse would do. They're always contoured to each other, even when they're grooming each other, right? So they're always moving their body to those shapes. So that's where we need to be better in our own language to understand their language. So let us know how it goes.
I like that very much. And then right before we go here, I like that, Natalie, I use Jennifer all the time. See, we can use our other facilitators.
Yeah, just can't use a horse.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful week. If you do have any questions, shoot them off our way because we're more than happy to answer them. And remember, you are life changers, every single one of us around the globe.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye, everyone.